Spoken, mate. Spoken, mate.
Hi guys, yeah, it's Andy again, live from Spoken Label. Back at my favourite place in Manchester, the Cafe at St Peter's Square tonight, and it's become regulars because pretty well every week now, the last couple of weeks, I've been meeting up with people there straight after work. It's been great fun. I've got a gentleman with me tonight who I met last year, I think, and he might correct me on this one in a minute, over at the Speakeasy, the night I do with Steve and Amanda in Stretford. It's a great guy, this one as well, so always been a pleasure seeing him, and we just took a bit to get ourselves sorted out and dates, Anthony, haven't we? So
Yeah.
But do you want to introduce yourself, Anthony? Tell them who you are, where you come from, and where all your creative endeavours started from, and we'll take it from there.
My name's Anthony Smith. I'm from Fallowfield originally. Moved about a little bit, but originally from Fallowfield. I'm back there now. Started writing really. It was at school. I was always good at English and sports. Really, that was the only two subjects that I really succeeded in. Because that's the ones I enjoyed. So at school, got like I'm boasting here now, but I got like the highest mark in like my English for like my year. It's not that much to boast about because I went to Burnage High School, so it's like.
Is it Burnage or Bernage?
Bernage, yes, actually that's what we'll call it, Bernage. Yeah, we'll stick with that. So it's not like the best thing on my resume, but yeah, that's where I got a bit of confidence out of that because my English teacher liked me, and I got on well with that. So I did well in English GCSE, and then sort of took it on to college. So I started doing. I got a bit of confidence from like the English language, so that's why I did it at college, and I started writing like lyrics because a lot of my friends were doing like garage and drum and bass and hip hop and stuff like that, and I started writing lyrics initially, and that's how it started with the kind of poetry. So that's how it started with sort of the words. I'm my love of words to start with.
Yeah. So your background's come from always doing it all the time, almost like rapping, hasn't it, all the top of music really? Because your music, some of your words are very hip hop based.
Well, I've heard that. Well, I think a lot of it influences from sort of like writing lyrics, but I was like always kind of, I wasn't really confident in like projecting it to anyone other than myself and really my close friends, really, you know what I mean? So the music side of it, and plus I was always writing about like, I don't know, really deep subjects and like flowers and stuff, and it didn't really go down too well with the hip hop scene and like the drum and bass and stuff. So I was always a bit deeper than my friends, and not deeper than my friends, but it was a bit more of I had more of a different kind of perception of things, and it was that's where it sort of originated from. I really got into kind of writing properly. I started reading like Jack Kerouac and Hunter S. Thompson when I was younger, and I think that sort of, the books kind of influenced me. I got like a bit of a creativity spurt through reading like Jack Kerouac and Hunter S. Thompson and a couple of other books.
Yeah.
And
who's your favourite books by them two of them?
What's that, sorry?
Who's your favourite books by Kerouac and Hunter S. Thompson?
Well, I read On the Road, and that was the obvious one, but there was Dharma Bums, which was another one.
Good fun as well.
Yeah, and then it was like Hunter S. Thompson, Fearing and Loathing in Las Vegas, and then I went on to stuff like Luke Reinhardt, Dice Man, and sort of like crazy. Yeah, I'm telling you, so it was like, but that sort of stuff that got me excited about writing and stuff like that.
I know the Dice Man got banned originally in the 70s.
I'm not surprised, I'm not surprised.
Anybody's read that, the basic premise of it and was wondering is a guy wakes up depressed one day of his life, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He decides, right, I'm going to roll dice. If I roll 4, I'm going to go downstairs and I'm not going to use the naughty word. Should say have intimate pleasures with his neighbour.
That's it.
Mental, that book.
Yeah, and he was like, when I first read it, it blew my mind a little bit because I'd only read a few books, proper books, like literature or like sort of stuff. And it was like it was kind of like an exciting thing. It was like, wow, like this guy's like roll the dice, and because he used to give like an even number of bad things and good things he'd do, and it was really by chance. And then obviously, if you read it, you'll understand what I mean about it. It goes a bit crazy, doesn't it? Like the guy takes it a bit literal.
Have you read the sequel?
I haven't. No, what's that?
The sequel's called The Search for the Dice Man.
The what? Sorry.
The Search for the Dice Man.
The Search for the Dice Man.
Sorry,
The Search for the Dice Man.
And that's about his son. His son goes looking for him.
Do you know what? I think I might have done that actually. Yeah, I think I might. Now you said it. Yeah, I know. It goes. I think I might have done actually. Now that you say that. Yeah, I think I might have done. I thought it was like
very, very crazy.
It was so long ago. I think I might have done actually. Yeah.
You probably would have done, like I said. So, have you read anything of Ginsberg's stuff or Burroughs or anything like that?
No, I've not read that. No.
Yeah, they're worth a look as well.
Yeah.
But I know I like reading Bukowski's book as well. Have you ever read Post Office or?
No, I've not read. I'll have to check them out, mate.
Check those two out because they're well worth. You can get quite cheap them too. Because he had in one of the books, I don't know which one. It was The Postman,
Yeah.
and a bloody awful postman as well.
Oh right, yeah.
What's good about his
like a mischievous postman, shall we say?
what was good about both those books is, and it's always good for anyone writing tips, is the chapters are very short.
Yeah.
So like it pack a lot in a couple of pages, and it finishes and moves on.
Brilliant.
So the pace is very quick.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that. I appreciate that.
No, that's fine, mate. So do you get much time for reading nowadays? You know, or is it because I know you work, don't you? So
Yeah. I still read. I still read a lot. I read quite a lot, to be fair. Yeah. The last one I read was Meditations, Marcus Aurelius. I read that, and I've been getting into a bit of philosophy recently, and bit of sort of. Philosophy, perceptions, different stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm always a believer in reading, anyhow, because like that's myself, and unfortunately I'm not reading anything highbrow. I'm reading Religious Nowhere Men by Greg Cummels. But that's like Jack Reacher territory, so that's not highbrow at all. So but it's always good if it's always good if you mix and match it anyway. So,
do you know what? It's interesting. Like certain books in my life that I've come across, like sometimes it's just landed in my lap, or someone's give it to me at certain times in my life, and it's just popped up, and then it spins you off in a different direction. You know what I mean? Like when you read a book, you're like, wow, and then it sends you off to philosophy, and then you might read another one and send you off to fiction. You know, it's really interesting.
It's like the dice.
Yeah.
It's like life is quite random in some ways, anyway.
Yeah.
And I get the feeling from you, I think it has gone off in directions you've not been expecting, hasn't it?
For sure, mate. Yeah, for sure.
That's why. So, what made you want to come into doing poetry then?
Well, what happened was I started writing kind of. I stepped away from like the lyrics kind of thing, and I started exploring like writing in different ways. So when I first started, what happened was when I did that, like when I read Jack Kerouac, and after that, and then I got a bit of a creativity spur. I started writing in different ways, and I tried my hand at like just writing a bit of poetry and doing little bits of different types of material. I wrote a bit of a book. It was kind of like a fiction, like Jack Kerouac side, like it's like 400 pages or whatever. I did well, like over like 6 months. I told you I turned into a bit of a recluse. It was like, and I ended up writing loads and loads of different types of stuff. I was drawing, I was just doing art. I've done loads of different stuff, and the poetry, I just for some reason I went. This was only recent that they actually really got into poetry over the last few years.
Oh right, yeah.
As I said to you before, off the air or whatever, I've got bookfuls from when I was younger, but I've only really looked at poetry over the last few years. I went to Word Central, and I will.
That's the first time I met
I was going to say I will correct you on that, because it was Word Central. But what it was, mate, is that when I first turned up to Word Central, I went on that gig guide, you know, the Write Out Loud.
Oh yeah.
So I think one must have been the first one that popped up. So I've gone in, and it's like the creme de la creme of like poets. You were there, like told, you know, all the really top. Well, the way I seen it, I was really interested in poetry, and I come in and everyone was absolutely amazing. And when I first got on stage, my legs were shaking me. I was stood there and I could hardly stand still. I was so nervous, and that was about it was like just being around peers that I was impressed with and stuff like that, you know.
I think I remember that one actually as well. It does ring a bell with me, because you came up to me at half time, didn't you, saying you like my man and man stuff. That's how I remembered it. God, yeah.
Mate, I was like Michael Flatley, mate. My legs were going all over the show. I was like, I just couldn't.
I do vaguely remember that, yeah. And then you came down to, you turned up at Speak Easy, didn't you? So, and then we give you a slot then, because we had space that night. So that was before it went crazy.
Yeah, that's it. Well, do you know what, mate? I have to give you props, because like you and Steve and Amanda or whatever was probably the first people that kind of give me an inspiration to carry on going. Like as I said, I never really had the confidence in myself when I never really realised that I was any good at it. I just did it as a release, you know what I mean? But when you kind of said, you're good, you know, come down and do a bit, and it really gave me confidence, and from there I kind of found my own voice, like we were talking about before, a little bit more. And you know,
what Speakeasy is very good at tonight is, and just doesn't apply to all nights. Not in a bad man game, because some nights the way they operate is different. Yeah, for sure. And it's designed for encouraging writing, new writing, as well as people that are already there.
I agree.
Testing new material.
Yeah.
Not all nights do that. I'm sure you know that yourself. So.
Yeah, that's what I love about Speakeasy, because everyone gets the same amount of time. It's not. I mean, even though there might be a headliner who gets a little bit extra, most people get the same. Most people get the same amount of time, and it's really anyone's welcome, aren't they? You know what I mean?
We try to make sure everyone sticks roughly the same time.
Yeah.
Doesn't always go that way. As I would say so. But Okay, over the past, since you've really got into your poetry, do you think it's changed much, do you?
100%, yeah. I mean, I'm constantly trying to learn and evolve. I mean, you said to me, I think one thing that stuck with me is when you and Steve kind of said, you kind of said me as a performance poet, and I kind of explored that with you. Remember when I asked you for a bit of feedback on it, and you said to me about the structure of poems and the way things are, and the way you project them, and the way they're wrote down. And I've then said poems, you know, to you, Manda, and you kind of give me some good feedback on stuff, and I've kind of took that on board, and I've really tried to. What I've never done and what I've started doing recently is explore other poets. I just used to write for my own release and my own benefit.
That's what I
did, selfish about it, but it just used to be for me. So I didn't really care about what others were writing. I never used to follow anyone's format or anyone's. And I think that. So then when you said to me with these certain structures, I was looking at like different acrostic poems. I was looking at different types of poems. I was looking at, you know, it started making me explore it. So again, thank you, you know, for a bit of inspiration.
That's the thing behind it, because a lot of writers, it'll come in as anguish in whatever age they are, and if they really crack into it, and not, it doesn't apply to everybody. Some people they just write for their own release. Some, if you want to take a stage further, it's not the case if you have to train on it. It's been aware. And I think that's what you've done. You're a perfect example of that. I remember the first few times I saw you speak a certain speakeasy, you seem to change the person on the stage, and it comes with experience a lot, I think. After a while you get used to owning the stage, and you know after a while you can go along in front of as many people as you can. Yeah, for sure. You get a bit more confidence in yourself, don't you? And then, like, once you've got the confidence, I think that helps you relax in order to then project your poems the way you want to do it, or your words a bit better. And I think we find every venue you go to, you've known it yourself, haven't you? No night's the same. I did a night last year actually, and about Peterloo poetry at Central Library. And it wasn't Word Central. Seven Archers requested it, and I didn't realise there was going to be over 200 people in the audience. And Amanda wasn't with me, and I told her afterwards, and she looked at me and said, "How many?" But like, I was there with quite a few people I know, and as soon as I saw the amount of people, I thought, you know straight away you're going to have to go on and really belt it out. The piece I was going to do, I went and screamed it out. I walk everybody else. You do, but it's different everywhere you go in it. So some nights you go to, you can be quite relaxed on it and just do it quite calmly, quietly.
Well, that's reassuring. Someone as yourself, after you got the longer you were saying before, you got years of experience, and you still sort of get shook every now and again. It's good to.
It can shock you sometimes. It can. You don't have a lot of poetry artists in Manchester, and not all massive ones. There's quite a lot of intimate small ones. But you get the big ones, and it's like, wow, brilliant. Anyway, Brennan, mate, right, I want to ask you next is, where do you see your work going next then?
Well, as I was saying before, I'm at the moment I'm just trying to kind of make links with a few people and see.
You said that off mic before. You want to network more, don't you?
Just trying to get some ideas from other people and see what sort of, as I said before, maybe try and collaborate with a few people, or try and get some ideas about. I was asking you before the best way to kind of project my stuff. You was talking about websites and stuff like that. So
there's so many ways you can approach things. Like I said, a lot of it is just trying to find a way to find your own voice in it and see what direction suits you. So
well, I think recently, because I've got a lot more confidence in myself, and I've kind of realised, that I can go in whichever way I want, kind of thing. I've started writing different stuff. I've been doing a bit of comedy improv. I go to comedy improv, and I've been writing a bit of music as well. So I've started playing the piano, and I've done a few other things. So I'm trying to just keep my options open at the moment. I'm just trying
the best way, mate, because you don't know which way it's going to go. Because I'm primarily a poet, already I do ambient music.
I've seen that.
And I've got things on the go with that in a minute as well. I'm doing the podcast. I do 4 podcasts, would you believe? This one's weekly. I do one I've got to do tonight when I get back with London DJ. And I do one with Comics News, all the DC and Marvel stuff, superhero stuff. Do that with my mate Michael. And Amanda's now on board with that. And it's supposed to be monthly, but the schedule's just changed. Look, that's going to be weekly as well. But we do 4 episodes at once, so it's a case of.
Well, you'll be getting too busy. You'll have to hand one over then soon, won't you?
I might have to. No.
I'll get my CV in.
Well, you'll be the 5th podcast, mate, right? No, definitely, man. So,
Nice
no, do you actually see yourself doing a book of poetry someday, or are you not sure yet?
I've got bookfuls, mate. So I could see.
Can you see releasing one?
Well, I'd like to. I mean, I've got a lot of different types of stuff. Like I said, a lot of it's quite. The thing is with mine, as I said to you, I've got a lot of work, but when you're talking about poetry books, I know there's certain structures and certain types of poetry, and I think that's something that I need to explore a bit more in order to help myself out with that, because a lot of my poems are kind of, they're wrote down and they're kind of to project as a voice. They're not wrote down as a structure, you know what I mean? Yeah. So maybe I need to learn a bit more about that. And that's something that I'm learning at the moment, all the way.
The important thing is in writing, if you've had to learn. What I'm dying to know is how did you comedy improv go?
Oh, I've done it for a few months. It's like on a Thursday, and what it is you just turn up and there's like 20 or 30 people, and we do kind of like icebreakers and games. And then what they'll do is they'll do certain scenarios and throw you in the middle, and you've just got to come up with stuff. And I got all right. I mean, I've only done it for a few months. I started like maybe a few months ago, just before Christmas. I've done about 8 sessions, and it was a good laugh, you know what I mean? And it was something where I felt it would help me with my creativity as well, you know, like kind of on the spot stuff, you know.
I think there's nights and nights going around that you do improv where it's like we're encouraging on stage. You get some like a true stories. It's a couple of actual truths. You have to go on stage and tell a true story for 5 to 10 minutes.
All right.
And you're not that scripted.
Okay. And you just got to make it up.
No, it's meant to be true.
It's meant to be true.
But whether it is or not, I've never had the guts to do that. So.
Well, sorry, Kyle.
Go on, mate. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that. Well, when I got confidence with the poetry and stuff like that and performing, I kind of thought, throw myself in a deep end as well. So I thought if I go to like something like that, it'll help me with my confidence, and as well, it has they do like kind of different games where you're using your brain in different ways as well. You know, it's like it's hard to explain, but certain games it gets you thinking in different ways and on the spot, and you know it's a bit different than just sort of.
I think a lot of it is those sort of things you're losing on the inhibitions. That's what they're trying to do, and they're thinking, could we just go for it, basically?
Exactly, and that's what I like about it. And plus, you don't stop laughing for 2 hours because everyone else is acting a twat as well. So, sorry for but everyone else is, you know.
I'll tell you a story about language afterwards, right? But that's not the worst, right? What was going to ask you last thing, anyway? There's 2 things, obviously, to finish with before we do a few bonuses, mate. Is I want to know about your piano stuff as well. I didn't know you were doing piano.
I've just started learning, so I got a keyboard for Christmas. And then I've always wanted to play. I've had 2 guitars for ages, and I've struggled to learn them because I've not pushed myself.
Guitars are very hard to do anyway.
I'm telling you, mate, I'm still learning a few chords and that. But piano wise, I've always wanted to play that Beethoven song, you know, like for release. So I can play that off by heart now, and I'm starting to learn some chords. So I've started with the 12-bar blues. And I've also started learning a few chords like R&B chords because I've started to make a bit of music as well. I'm just sort of exploring it and trying to get my hands in all the pies.
I think you can play better than I can, mate. Like mine is, I've got like a MIDI keyboard.
It's
the first two key one I plug into my laptop. And I've got like a processor in it. And I can play piano a little. So like grade 3 I am, which is not I'm average. But what I do is, because the processor is really good, I manipulate all the sounds. I've got an engineer's head on it too, so I've done work in the studio before now.
Have you? Brilliant.
A long time ago. But I learn how to manipulate sounds, and that's why I get on the ambient stuff from.
Well, I was just about to say, with your keyboard, is that what you sort of play your MIDI in? You know, like with your stuff, and then you manipulate the sounds through that.
Manipulate the sounds in it. Just done one that, I don't know if you've heard it, where I called it Global Warming on Mars.
No, I've not seen that one. I did check out a couple of your tracks on
that. That was where that was straight piano. But when I got soldiers, when they had all the hurricanes, I stuck a microphone on the window.
Was you getting all the sounds from outside as well?
And so you could hear the sound on it. I put the gun on the top of it, and I thought trees like global warming, footsteps on it.
Sounds pretty good. I'll have a listen.
I couldn't do it live. Possible. But I said, the thing like your case, like who knows what you can do basically, can't you? So
that's it.
I said, no, good luck, man. So now, obviously, I know you know already that your social media presence is limited at the minute.
Yeah, sure.
How do people get hold of you? What's your best email address for them to get hold of you?
You can, if you want to contact me, you can get, it's Smithy Anthony at iCloud.com.
think that's the one I've got already, isn't it?
So it's just Smithy, as in the second name, and then Y on the end, and then Anthony with a H, iCloud.com.
Really? It's been really good fun today, Anthony. I've learned stuff about you here, mate. I didn't know you played piano, did comedy and pro, so... No, not knowing you, mate. You've been doing really strip dancing next.
Yeah, right, mate. I'll leave you to that, mate. It's been a pleasure anyway. Thank you for your time.
Grateful. Now, you're going to do a few performances next, so hang around. So I'm looking forward to Anthony's going to do an extra.
Cheers, thanks, Andy.
See you all, mate, guys.
Spoken, mate. Spoken, mate.
Hi, guys. Anthony's not got fed up with me yet. My sarcasm. So he's going to do some pieces for us. I'm looking forward to this, mate. So over to you, buddy.
Cheers, Andy. First one's it's called One at a Time, or Just a Single Thought. It's just about just a thought at a time, basically. So I'll let the poetry do the talking. Just a single thought that explodes and turns into 1,000 memories, from birth to present, an avalanche of joy and anguish as we reminisce. A piece of music which takes us back to that certain place, for in that moment a scowl or smile appeared upon our face. Just one idea that blossoms and grows as knowledge is power, but to be aware it's also true, sometimes ignorance is bliss. The richest of fruits we often seek to crave to devour, living for now, hard exterior but still weak when blessed with a gentle kiss. Just a piece of creativity that opens minds and lets them express their innovation as reality evolves in front of our eyes, wondering we want the truth. But if lies define us, we're only really what we want others to see. So maintain composure and sow the seed, which just leaves peace of my heart, which beats like a drum to the sound of laughter. Your eyes and your smile, which glow and glisten and warm our souls. So just sit back and enjoy the feeling of true contentment as we learn to let go and just be ourselves.
Brilliant. Now, if anyone's, obviously, you wouldn't have seen this today. Anthony's just been sat there, closing his eyes, enraptured. And I thought, it's great fun. You did it off the top of your head, that one, didn't you? So I know you're going to know some of these today are off the top of your head. So you know, obviously that was good. You know your stuff already. Yeah. What's piece number 2, buddy?
This is called An Intriguing Idea. That's all I've got to say about that, to be fair. It'll work itself out. An intriguing ideas of thoughts we let wildly wonder, with wonderful waves of imperfect poetry like lightning and thunder. Truth or lies, afraid he ain't got the time, and when the sunshine shines and I'm feeling the rhymes, I'm on a mission, and it's further than a drive. But no further than a walk, stars will shine the skies. The grass gotta be greener on the other side, and the world gotta be greater than those books that are scribed. It's our minds that wonder, our need to find the heart to conjure. We want to read between the lines, become an artful blunder. If we mistakenly step upon our future fate and realise there's no want to waste no time, there's no reason that you can't explore. Find your passion, find your love forevermore. In peace and love, when search our souls, we seek to find our truth and passion we need to please is kind through kind. Now I went on a search for inner peace, in a world where nice guys finish last and sinners preach. I found calm in my breath and a power in a figure of speech, prophetic verses which possess all the power to teach. Now on breaching barriers brought upon us to break our spirit, we boldly use our glorious grammar to grate on gimmicks, reaching limits, getting lost while remaining with it, staying not all about taking chances but a chance to give it. Not giving in to our conditioned souls but bring a light to glow as we wonder our want for nothing and sing the fruitful song of growth. Now I've come to this thought that now is my future and my past, so I'ma hold on to this feeling and cherish it while it lasts. What an intriguing idea.
Brilliant. Yeah, you can see how your rap broke straight from the heart, that, mate. Perfect, man. Awesome. Very, very good, mate. Okay, onwards and upwards, as I would say.
Yeah, this one is called PTSD, also known as Darker Days Than Nights. This is kind of when I worked in the best place, and it was like I'm quite proud of this piece, even though it's quite deep and it's quite personal to me. But it's I wrote this all in one, and I probably changed like 2 lines in it, and I was really like this literally come from from.
You call it spontaneous fiction or from poetry, don't you? Just like that, yeah.
I couldn't believe, like, when I wrote it, I looked at it and read it back, and like I said, I probably changed a few words here and there, and a couple of lines, but it was like,
I think you've done this one on Speakeasy, actually.
Yeah.
This does ring a bell.
Yeah.
Go for it, mate.
Cheers, mate. Constantly looking outwards for ease of anguish towards my inner anger, my ego ever expanding and more so demanding. I have it all inside me. Dreams scattered like paint splattered, pockets fatter but my soul is empty. Declined to feel impermanent, permanently tormented, unrivaled self-hatred from the belly of the dragon. Others laugh while I sit there solemn, expressionless. I come down like a bottomless pit while numb, so at the same time deep as spit, and forever needing like a blind baby searching for its mother's breast which isn't there. A primal scream which haunts us from the darkest of days, left open like a gaping wound from previous trauma, a potent reminder. Even when warm, cold surrounds my soul, the want to be whole gets bleaker. With tongue in cheek, a wry smile from the vicious demons who guard my mind like a fearsome dragon, with eyes of fire which burn fierce like the furnace. Left to wallow in the ash where lies the crumbled goals which once blossomed, but are now buried deep, left bare like feet made to walk on broken glass. Mischances echo in our ears, a path of self-destruction. I yearn to be loved and not abandoned, at the same time abandoning love and pushing all and everything away remains a must, including myself. I'm broken. Self-compassion forever absent, a disregard for something that should be considered in simpler terms contempt. Worthless worry and anxiety riddled with daggers of devilish emotion that pierce the heart, but are not quite enough to dare or say I'll end it all, at the same time just hoping for the day it will all end, as I awaken with a gasp. Oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah, I do remember that one. I thought you were outstanding when you did that one that night. And it's like brilliant stuff now, mate.
Appreciate it.
Okay, buddy.
I'm going to depress you a little bit more, Andy, and then I'll get to the heart of the
You're such a depressing man,
stuff. Yeah. I'll cheer you up in a minute, though. I promise. All right. I've got one more horrible one.
That's
but
fine,
this is I read this one out at last Speakeasy, and it was part of a two-piece, the perceptions. So this was two different perceptions on life. So this is like a negative perception on life, and then I won't read the other one, but this is the one that I wrote.
Thumbs up. Go for it, buddy.
We all want it now. Impatiently always scraping for the next level, unwilling to sit, breathe and watch the world go by. In the past I've lacked the knowledge and often found myself seeking the opportunity to wave the world goodbye. When we change the way we see the world, it changes. Education eases the danger of a narrow mind, such a fearful place it seems. An initial perception of a world of hatred, lies and deceit. Our fear, our every move is watched, our identities stolen, sold like a heavy soul, our stats, our data, our dreams dashed, our record tarnished and our reputations tainted. Learned behaviour and a negative subconscious program at the forefront, and fear of death keeps us shackled, deeply ingrained and conditioned to hate and hurt in ways we cannot understand. As it pains to change trauma raw like salt on an open wound, a downward spiral inevitable, all because we don't know how we work. Our attempt at reversing the horror seems too much to take, so we keep delving into the bottomless pit of desperation, our fears unveiled and shared with all socially, constantly posted and uploaded. Welcome to the non-private zone. Empty heads dribble over reality shows with their artificial airbrush and fish face pucker lips, in awe of it and at the same time in disgust, as the simple fact is we can't quite meet expectations because ultimately perfection is out of reach, always one step away, unrealistic, conditioned conformity keeps us weak, divide and conquer, the cool crew versus the geeks. I'm not racist or narrow-minded, but that Boris Trump quote with tongue in cheek, characteristics of a world outward looking, instead of seeking the truth within. As people choose their riches over common sense, with nothing to hold, we can't help but hold on to nothing. With a fear of concept defying our natural beauty, we are constantly peering into the broken mirror, seeing the cracks that are just a mirage of deception. We can't break free until our minds are open and we begin to seek with eyes wide, not yearning but let a chosen acceptance of ourself becomes a belief. Self-image keeps us chained to craving. Breathe and take a moment. A subconscious need to feel the love naturally lies dormant and unexplored. End the chase for artificial satisfaction. Feeble attempts to lend a hand to the hand that borrows nothing but seeks a warm soul and a gentle touch. Only then will we sigh with relief, release that there's nothing we can want when the want for something is just a state of mind. Live wired with an overflowing waterfall of artificial serotonin, which seduces our soul and makes us believe all we need to do is believe in someone other than ourselves. Let go of all that holds on and keeps us being us, and this feeling of self-hatred is not what we are but what we have become. So make your habitual beliefs conscious and your new beliefs habitual. Something to achieve will be self-love and acceptance of what we truly are. We are loving and whole and we need all within us. So when we are shown and conditioned to seek all outside, which inevitably leads us to a a tortured soul. Never good enough, always seeking, needing, wanting, never satisfied with just being and breathing in with glorious gratitude the true essence of life, as life is a sense in itself. We sense it all and see how the world spins and drives our equilibrium into mayhem. With unbalance like a broken pendulum, as the tick-tock slowly plays, we remain impatient, counting the clicks of the clock, forever searching for the trick of the trade as we fleet with the flock. A love for the small things so precious but overlooked. A desperate graph on to the hope that the grass is greener on the other side, instead of looking inside and realizing now remain is a must. Unity and togetherness more important than ever before. My conditioned mind doubts things can really change, but that's what I've learned to overcome, a change of perception.
Fantastic. I'll say something there, mate. You did well there, man. But because I remember you doing that one. And I sat with Amanda afterwards, and I turned around and said to her, "I just tell you, we're exhausting with that." Because like you do pieces that long, and it's not the case of it's the pacing of it and stuff. Yeah. It's the length of it like that. Yeah. It's relentless. I'd lost my breath at the end of that. Like machine gun.
Yeah, no,
do you feel like that's something when you've done a piece that length like that? It's the rhythm on it's that tight, isn't it?
Do you know what? I kind of like. I just come up with tell when, especially when I'm doing speakeasy and I memorise it, I really get like I've started to get a real buzz out of it. Like I like to kind of project it where I'm really feeling it. You know what I mean? I kind of get lost in it sometimes. And some people have sat there thinking, "Bloody hell, shut up! Hurry up and shut up!" But you know what I mean? I just get lost in it. I'm just doing the thing, you know.
You're doing your own stuff, mate. So it's good. It's best way to be, mate. Honest to God, right? So,
nice one.
Okie dokie. I know you've got another few pieces for us, haven't you?
Cheers, mate. Yeah. I've got this one's called a Love for the Simple Things So Beautiful, and this one's a bit more cheery.
Which one's called? What's it called?
A Love for the Simple Things So Beautiful. Oh, Love for the Simple Things, that'll do it.
Go for it.
A love for the simple things so beautiful. The breeze as it blows, the sun's glow shining like stars in your eyes. A deep breath in, released with a sigh of gratitude. There's a tear in my eye, but no way I can stay mad at you. Love, worry and anger reside for a moment, what bliss. A break from the loop in my head, so sweet like a gentle kiss. We walk by the river, the twigs crunch, the current flows. Nothing even matters while the love goes from our heart and sits deep in our souls. For a moment there is ease of anguish. Warmth fills our body from head to toe. Please don't go, don't leave me. I'm not ready to let go of this feeling. It's a love for the simple things so beautiful.
Oh, that's beautiful, mate. Cheers. I don't think I've heard that one before, actually.
Cheers, mate.
That's a nice compliment. Nice in the tone now, straight away.
Nice one.
Always firm believer in writing, don't you? You can't always depress people.
Yeah, you got to cheer them up a little bit.
Completely, yeah. Okay, mate.
This one's. This one is. So I've got two more, mate. This one. Reached. I haven't got a name for this one.
So
we can call it Listen to You, actually. Listen to You.
Yeah, listen to You. When everyone's got better ideas, let Anthony know.
Yeah. And email me. As I reach deep down inside my soul, my heart open, projecting purity, origin unknown. Meaning beyond my intellect, it seems these words just need to be heard. Flowing furiously through me like rivers of blood, sacred yet destined to be shared as they embody the unknown deepest secrets. Unleashed, not needing to wander, not wanting to squander the chance for the universe to talk to you in ways I myself can't comprehend, but I still take note. As I'm intrigued by changes of natural perception, in this moment my actual direction is not factual reflection, it's something heartfelt and meaningful. I'm an open book, binds broken, a loving token, a natural cursive, not a factual wordsmith. It's a sense for something deeper. I'm here to reach the people. It's an energy to teach us to increase the peace through something higher when sense isn't common. It seems to speak from a place that peaks. It's an inner speech of a power of a universal soul that seeks us. Connections deep, connection speaks, listen. Listen to you.
Listen to you. Excellent, mate.
Right. Sorry, I've got just a couple now. These ones are a little bit different. So we've got. Still got time, yeah?
Yes.
Right. All right. I've just got a couple left now. This one's a little bit different. This is play on. This is called a love letter.
Oh, you're writing love letters now?
Yeah, I'm writing love letters. It's to go with my after I do my striptease and that. Remember you told me before when I get all the fan mail. No, it's not that kind of love letter.
You are open to offers, isn't it?
It's not that kind of love letter. I've got a confession to make. I'm in love with words. Units of language consisting of spoken sounds or written representation that function as a principal carrier of meaning. Oh, talk dirty to me. Lovely language with sexy linking morphemes flows from the lips like a French kiss. Extended words that make lyrics of high vibrations, or an intellectual article full of wonderful words that are oh so hard. The comprehension of vocabulary simply says it all. Even better, a conversation. An orgy of pronunciation with a freedom of expression leaves me quivering, lifting my libido. Take me to the edge until you say the secret word. Speech to make me reach. Don't laugh, you all know what I mean. Definition. A term to make me squirm, an excerpt to make me squirt. Never mind, that's too much information. That's for later when the text makes me flex and I'm left amazed by the phrase. When you write, read, type or say. Oh, you get the message.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Right, so you've got one more, haven't you?
Last one, mate. Nice one, thanks a lot.
Yeah, cool.
This one's just called Manchester, and you'll know why.
I know this one as well.
Yeah. Just a little bit of background on this because I feel like I need to. When I wrote this, I sent it to I sent it by a voice thing on WhatsApp to my friend.
Oh yeah.
And he said, "Oh, there's a guy that's done a Manchester poem."
Mike Gary.
Was it Mike Gary who did that one? The one who did the town hall?
No, Tony Walsh did one as well.
Yeah.
Tony Walsh is the big one.
Yeah. I'll speak to you after this about Mike Gary because
Mike Gary has done one.
Yeah, I've heard. Anyway, I'll get onto that. So I'd wrote this and then. The guys, he sent me a video of the guy actually doing the Manchester one outside the town hall, and I thought, I hope it's not exactly the same, but there's only there's two words in there that the same, so I was sweating when I first wrote it. I thought, it's going to be like, but I'm just wanted to get out there that I wrote this before I wrote that one.
Yeah,
so,
that's
anyway.
Sure it'd be good in your own way, mate. So.
Yeah, it goes, Manchester, la 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 la, known for its overcast skies and rainy days, oasis haircuts, sideburns, luscious lamb chops, Piccadilly gardens and the smell of green, rough sleepers curled up in balls in the street. You're right, kid, yeah, sound as a pound, strolling down Portland Street, cheesy grins and plenty of frowns, big city vibes, the streets literally buzzing, this is our melting pot and we fucking love it. Working class heroes, the Hume activists, high rises divided but not conquered, Moss Side Carnival vibes, park life from Platfields to Heaton Park, Manchester we have it large, where dreams are made, the city our stage, community our strength, we, us, together. Banter between the bitter blues and the prawn sandwich eating reds, a sea of blue and red shirts, the home of football. Derby Day, it's a fact, that atmosphere now that you can't match. We welcome anyone, our city is your city, we know it's the best and you depart with champagne supernovas stuck in your heads. Someday you will find me, heart on my sleeve, eyes wide with a smile in my city of dreams. Our music scene second to none, jukebox aplenty, no contenders. We say yeah man, in it and defo, and we're mad for it and we know how to party. You need something, we got mates who get things. Our city's so cool, Banksy moved in. Stone roses, we want to be adored, and we live life fast with our foot to the floor. The smell of the brewery, chips and gravy up north with mushy peas, we all started somewhere. Manchester born and bred, and Mankin and proud. Alan Turing and the code, the first computer made, it's where the atom was split, where we tell it how it is and we don't give a shit. We make noise, where Rolls met Royce, the famous Curry Mile, cotton mills and canals, Pride the biggest party in town. We love everyone, that's just how we get down. Thousands of students from young to old, knowledge is power, fortune favours the bold. From Central to Rylands Library, endless treasures you'll find, just like our minds. The city skyline stays ever expanding, the Hilton stands sturdy and whistles in the wind. 1853 city status, Manchester made us, the city of love, cause you love our city. This is our city, Manchester.
Echo that agreement, echo that completely. Fantastic.
Nice one,
great way to finish off one, Anthony.
Nice one.
Thank you for today, mate.
Appreciate it, man. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Signing out. See you all soon.
Spoken, mate. Spoken, mate.